Hello, time travelers. This last Saturday, we had an epic wind thing that knocked down a tree in my backyard. I was actually sleeping in and then got up and I started making a decaf coffee and then heard a big whoomph. And I thought it sounded like, the wind knocking a door shut. And I looked around, I was like, all the doors are closed. And I looked out the back window and this giant tree was laying in my backyard. This is my look of disapproval. When I saw the tree outside, I immediately wanted to shoot a video. But this, newscaster version of me was out there already, reporting on it. And this would be a funny video, but I can't edit it yet because I don't have internet! I had internet when the tree fell, and I had electricity. And I was chilling the whole day. I'm cool with it. I'm dealing with this later. I went to church the next day. And I told a friend about it at church. He actually called some people, and a bunch of people from church came and started chopping up my tree. And my internet and electricity worked. And before I go on any further, let me just tell you that I feel blessed because that same day, people in different states had tornadoes completely wreck their lives. And this wrecked my life, but, not as bad. So when the tree fell down, it knocked down the electrical line and the internet. But like I said before, they were working, and I can't edit that other video because some of the stuff I need for it is online. I don't have resources on my computer for that. But the next day, the landlord had the electric company come out, and this is what happened. This weekend, there was a huge wind that knocked down a tree that blocked my whole yard. And there it is. Some people from church came and chopped it down and chopped it all up. And we made a huge pile over there. And I sent a picture of my, meter thingy to my landlord. I said, call the electric company and have them fix it because the power cord fell down because it was knocked down by the tree. Then when I come home, this is on my door saying basically, it's all your responsibility, not ours. And now I have no freaking power in the house. And they chopped off the wire. There used to be an electrical wire running across my yard to over there. And I had power after the tree fell. Now I don't. But at least it wasn't a tornado like some people had in some states this last weekend. I digress. So that night, I decided I wasn't going to eat. I was just going to fast because I didn't want to open the fridge and let all the air out. And I didn't feel like eating cold chicken. So after a while of just sitting around being bored out of my skull, I laid in bed and I was like, woohoo, woe is me, life is effed up. Then my friend, he texts me, it's like, hey, are you cold? And I'm like, yeah, I'm freaking freezing. And he let me go sleep over at his house. Isn't it nice? But anyways, I asked these dudes if it was okay for me to film them. And one person's like, don't show my face. But he was the clever one. And I'm going to refer to him as he who will not be named. He thought he would be able to cut down this whole tree into bits within 20 minutes, but we did it in 15 minutes. And all of us moved all the branches and bits of the tree into a pile behind the garage so it wasn't filling up the driveway that I have to share with my neighbor. But then, back to the future. So what happened the day after the electric company destroyed the electric line and left me that note, the landlord had an electrician come out and repair the meter, and electric company repaired the line, and guess what? The electric company did shenanigans again. This is what happened. So I get home and I see my electric meter is all connected, and I'm kind of covering it because I don't want to dox myself. So I'm excited. They fixed it. Yay, there's the cord, or what's it, big thick wire. But there used to be a skinny wire for my internet that also fell, and I was going to call my internet service provider later. And here, my NID, my network interface device, it's laying on the ground. So I thought, what happened? Did the electrician knock it down when he did this? Why would he do that, right? And here's my cord that's supposed to go in the house, that's supposed to go in the NID there. And that's when I noticed the skinny wire is freaking gone. So it couldn't have been the electrician because the electrician doesn't care about a wire running across the yard and he has no place climbing up a pole. Only the freaking electric company does. Why are you so hateful, AEP? Why? So then I called my internet company to have them come out and fix it. And I talked to a guy and I had to tell him the whole story, what happened. And he seemed to understand. He's like, oh, since your entire line is gone, I have to get you to a particular department. I'm going to stay on the line with you and make sure you get to the right department. And tell them what happened. He did not do that. He did what's called a cold transfer, and I had to explain the whole thing to the next guy. And he's like, I work for the telephone company, and you don't have telephone. So then he transfers me to the right place. So now I'm talking to this other guy, and he does the whole laundry list of rude, disrespectful stuff that a foreigner does when they don't like Americans. Like, number one, they say, hello, this is... Wait
a minute. Who are you?
Instead of actually pronouncing their name, they don't pronounce half of the words correctly, and they keep repeating stuff. And the guy asks me to validate things on my account, like my name or my address, multiple times during the call. And then there's a point where he says he's going to mute his phone, and then he says the case number. And I said, hold on, I want to confirm that case number and write it down. And he says, no, that's just for me. And then comes back later, and I ask for it again, and he doesn't confirm it with me correctly. Back and forth, back and forth. By the time he gets to the end of the call, he says the technician might have to enter the premise. I said, all right, slow down. It's very hard to understand you if you mispronounce words. It's premise. When you mean enter someone's home, the word is premise. And he laughed at me. Can you believe that? Anyways, I asked for his supervisor. He didn't want that to happen, so I had to tell him, I'm not talking to you anymore. Talked to his supervisor. I told him all the crazy stuff that was happening. And I have the internet company coming out tomorrow to work on my internet, and I have to lose work because of that. Lame! So I'm doing this video right now, and I'm going to try to copy it to my phone and see if I can upload it to YouTube. But now it's time for Enjoy This Random Thing. I call this one Cloudy with the Chance of Godzilla. It says, I think the worst is over. July will be better. And this is what July looks like. So people are talking about how the tree falling is my neighbor's liability, but think about the politics with my landlord and the neighbors, etc. And they initially were piling up the wood on my driveway, and I was like, no, let's put it behind the garage, because I don't want to deal with all this, and I'd rather just be a pile behind my garage instead of having to have people moan back and forth and complain, well, he's not doing this and he's not doing that, because look what the electric company already did to screw me over twice. And that's the electric company! And now, it's dad joke time. And speaking about liability, and the earth and weather and whatnots, one tectonic plate bumped into another and said, sorry, my fault. So that's it. This is an awkward end screen where I'm not even filming my own face, so I just feel like I'm doing that, so click on another video over there, and click on some other that's over there, and then, subscribe, which is on your bottom left-hand corner of your screen. All right. Bye.